Hey guys, welcome back to Phil Plays TCG. I am the Phil that plays, and today we're going to be going over the reveals for the next set of Dragon Ball Super Fusion World, Blazing Auras, I believe that's what it is called. And I've gotten here all the cards that have been officially revealed and a couple cards that haven't been officially revealed in English, but I want to go over anyway because we might as well. First and foremost, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are on that grind to 2,000 subs, and I would love any and all support that you guys are willing to give, especially since finding out that only 84% of, I shouldn't say only, 84% of the viewers aren't even subscribed to the channel. So, hey, if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. But with that out of the way, typical YouTube stuff, let's talk about the cards here. First and foremost, we're going to go over the 4 leaders that have been revealed. It has been revealed in the promotional stuff for the next set that we are only getting 1 leader per color, which I think is perfectly fine. We don't want to dilute the card pool with too many archetypes. I think one leader per archetype, per color is going to be perfectly fine. Now, I wish they would have chosen other characters because we've already gotten half of these characters already, but that's just a personal thing. Let's start here with the one that has not been officially revealed in English. As far as I can tell, I haven't been able to find a English translation for it yet. Or maybe I just missed it. But anyway, we have for the yellow leader, Vegeta. Looks like he is in his Resurrection F attire. So this is it's been pretty much shown off that the yellow deck archetype is going to feature heavily from Resurrection F. Front side ability, standard stuff. When drawing, I know it's in Japanese, but I've translated it. When attacking, draw 1. When your life is at 4 or less, draw 1 card, flip this card over. On the reverse side, same thing. When attacking, draw 1. But this is the ability that I love. Basically, when at the end of your turn, choose 2 of your energy and switch them back to active mode. This heavily reminds me of original SS3 Goku from Dragon Ball Super Masters, and I love that. Being able to restand 2 energy to defend yourself during your opponent's turn is awesome. It allows you to fully tap out, play everything you can, and then have 2 energy open at the end to play some defense cards. Now, at the moment, there's not a whole lot of yellow defensive cards in set 1, which will more than likely mean that we're going to get more in set 2. So I really think this is a cool leader. I actually think I'm going to be playing this leader in set 2. But that is just me. Next up, we have the first of the officially revealed leaders. This was the first leader, actually. I think this was the first card revealed in set 2. It is a red Son Goku. Once again, I don't like the fact that we're getting another red Goku leader when we already have 2. I think this would have been a great opportunity for them to have introduced a Universe 6 leader, like Kefla or Champa, Vado, something. Hit. There's so many great options. I don't think we needed another red Universe 7 Goku, though this does have the new tagline here of Tournament of Power, which is very interesting. It still has Universe 7, though. Anyway. Basic 15k stat line. When attacking, draw 1. When your life is at 3 or less, draw 1 and flip this card over. So you have to be pretty close to death in order to awaken. I do love how it's a Super Saiyan God leader. I really do love this transformation. When attacking, draw 1. Activate main once per turn. You may tap 1 energy, discard 1 card from hand, play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 20k power or less, and the Tournament of Power tagline, and its special traits from your hand. So, essentially, you're tapping 1, discarding 1 to play 1 from hand. So, when you think about it, you're dropping 2 cards out of hand, as well as paying 1 energy. At first glance, tapping 1 to play 1 is really, really cool, especially with a 20k stat line. But, with the fact that you have to discard a card as well from hand, this will drain your hand pretty quickly, unless you have have multiple ways of drawing more cards and keeping your hand fat, is what the kids call it nowadays. I think that is a decent skill. Unless they get a lot more cards that draw, this is going to be a really rough. It's going to be a rough time keeping hand size. But I do think free playing, or essentially 1 cost 20k bodies, is dangerous, especially since we have red has been shown to be have a lot of really great cards in it. Now, the issue is that it has to be a tournament of power skill, meaning that none of the cards released in set 1 are going to be playable off this skill. It's going to be entirely based off what cards are revealed in this set. So we'll go over those in a little bit, but overall I think this is an okay ability. I need to see more of the cards that are revealed, but I'd say it's okay. Next up, we have the newest revealed leader, and that is Green Cell. Right off the bat, it's kind of a bummer that this doesn't have crit. Green is the only color that does not have a crit leader, which is super strange. I think, if anything, Broly could have been the crit leader, but then Broly would have had no draw power, pretty much. Hey, you know what? I still think that would have balanced it out because Broly's just overpowered as hell. Basic stat lines: when attacking, draw 1. When your life is at 4 or less, draw 1 card, flip this card over. Buddy of mine mentioned how it's kind of a disappointment that this is not first form Cell. It's like, you know how Frieza is in his first form and then he awakens into his final form. Kind of a bummer that they didn't put first form Cell as the front of this leader, but eh. Backside, 20k stat line. When attacking, draw 1. Activate main once per turn. If you have 5 energy, add up to 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. Notice how this does not say 5 or more energy. It just says 5. So, right off the bat, this means that your lead, you never want to really ramp that much higher than 5, maybe 6 energy. Because once you ramp up too high, this ability becomes useless. This leader then just becomes a draw 1 on 1 attacking leader, and that's not really going to be very strong in the meta. So my thoughts are that this archetype, for set 2, green, there's going to be a lot of cards that have you trash an energy to get a boost, maybe play a card for cheaper, something that's going to keep your stat line really low, your energy really low, so that way you can constantly abuse this leader's ability, being able to go from 5 to 6. So cards that come to mind are like Instant Kamehameha, which will allow you to trash an energy in order to get a 15k boost. So I'm curious about what they're going to do with this leader and what the cards are in this archetype, but this is a very odd green leader. It basically goes against the whole principle of green, which is ramp as high as you can, as fast as you can. But I'm excited to see what archetypes they're going to, well, what the archetype is for this leader. Sorry, it's pretty early where I'm at right now. And finally, we have the Fused Zamasu leader. 15k stat line on the front. When attacking, draw 1. When your life is at 3 or less, draw 1, flip this card over. Once again, another 3 life leader. Then we go over to its on its awakened side. It is now the second 25k leader we have. The first one obviously being Broly. His ability is interesting. He no longer draws on attack, which is a huge downside, I feel like, to this leader. Activate main once per turn. Tap 1. Discard 1 card from your hand. If your life is at 2 or less, add the top card of your deck to your life. And now, I'm not going to lie, without seeing the archetype and other cards in this set, this ability to me is bad. Especially when you have a lot of decks that can go wide and a lot of decks that can play tall and swing multiple times, aka green. This, yeah, going from 2 life to 3 life sounds in principle really, like in general, really, really good. I think of like One Piece, where you have cards like leaders like Enel that can constantly go from 0 life to 1 life once per turn, but you get to draw 1, discard 1, something like that. This leader, the fact that he can't draw on his backside, you have to discard a card every time to do that. Getting 1 extra life may not be enough, especially if you're playing against Broly. Broly can swing 45 twice into your leader. Androids can swing double, like 40k double strike into leader. And the fact that this is not activate battle, this is an activate main, so it is only usable on your turn. I just think right now, just looking at this leader, taking this leader at face value, this is not a good ability. The 25k stat line could help in its defense, against decks like the Ginyu Force or Universe 7 to help, that additional stat line. But I don't know. it's missing something. I really hope we get the support, like good support cards that let us draw cards, because right now a leader without the ability to draw is not great. Hell, even Broly has the ability to draw if he trashes an energy, but with 5-drop Goku, you can just get that energy right back. So it's not like it's a real cost. The fact that there's no option to draw without sacrifice, like even if you sacrifice something, I think that's a huge misstep. But we will see the rest of the cards revealed, and hopefully I will be wrong, because I really do want to play this leader, but it's a little rough. Let's go into some of the cards that have been revealed. This one actually was just revealed today. It is Spy Robot. Ha, he's come back. Hopefully he's playable. Yes, spoiler alert, he is playable. He's a 1-drop 5k body with a 10k combo line, which is great. Activate main once per turn. Choose 3 cards from your opponent's hand and reveal them. This, in my opinion, is absolutely busted. Any card that allows you to look at your opponent's hand, or a chunk of your opponent's hand, is, I think, borderline busted. One of the key things in this game is that you have to anticipate what your opponent's going to have. You have to try to calculate what combo power your opponent may or may not have. And a card that just says, nah, let me just take that guesswork out of the way and give you a glimpse of your opponent's hand, I think is absolutely insane. It gives me Broly, a Broly Crown vibes, you know, from Dragon Ball Masters. A 1-drop that lets you look at your opponent's hand, especially in the color green, that goes heavy late game with their big swings. They need to know they can go all in and not have to worry about your opponent comboing out of it. This card literally just says, yeah, don't worry, let me take the guesswork out of your hands. I think this is a little overtuned. There's no cost besides you just play it, and it's a once per turn thing. A once per turn thing. So every turn you can look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand. Sure, it's got a very low stat line, which is easy removal for cards for colors like red, but for cards like yellow and blue, they have to put more effort in to get rid of it, and I just think this card's a little ridiculous. This is absolutely an A+ S tier card, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments, though. Next, we have Son Gohan Childhood, 6-drop 35k body, 1000 stat line for combo, which is awesome. Permanent, if you have a Son Goku in your drop area, this card gains double strike. I once again think this card is fantastic. I posted this in my community page the other day, and people were talking about how, oh, this card's not, better than androids. The reason why I would personally run this in over androids, like the 40k double striker, is that, one, it's always going to be online. You're always going to have a Goku in your drop area because you run a lot of Gokus in Gohan. This card will always be 35 double striker. It has combo power, which androids don't have. Sure, androids KOs 2-3 cost bodies or less, but maybe in a certain situation, androids may not have a target for their ability. This Gohan doesn't need to worry about having a target. This one will always have will be a 35k beat stick, as well as it can be played off the 6-drop Android 16 blocker. So you can combo with this and then play it from your trash and just be able to swing big next turn. I think this is a really good card. And just, once again, another pseudo boss monster for green. And I don't think green needs anymore, but that's just my opinion. Next up, we have Zuno, a 2-cost 5k body with a 1000 combo stat line. It is a blocker. On play, it has look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This is not an awful card, being able to look at the top 3 cards and plan out your next couple draws. I think that's really cool. The problem is blockers with this low of stat line are just immediate fodder. That red can KO them instantly. Yeah, it just... There's a reason why not a lot of people play low-cost blockers, because they're useless. They get KO'd immediately, and then you just spent 2 energy on something that isn't going to stick around and actually do its job. I like the organized top 3 ability, but I don't know. I think it needed to have a 10k stat line at least. 5k I think is a little too low, but we'll see how the meta plays out. Next up, we have a Vegito, 2-cost 20k body, so great stat line there. No combo power though, so that's the biggest downside of this card. But its ability is when KO'd, choose up to one of your battle cards. Sorry, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 2 or less, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. I love abilities that let me bottom deck cards. The problem is this card is literally good on like early on curve on your 2 energy turn. Playing this to bottom deck whatever your opponent may have played on their turn 1 or their turn 2. That's awesome. I really like that. The problem is late game. This card is literally just a 20k beat stick with no combo power. I wish they would have given it at least a 5k. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. I just realized that's not on play. That's when KO'd. No, this card is actually bad. Scratch that. This card is not great. If this was an on play, gas. This is an on KO. So red can get rid of this card with minusing it, which doesn't trigger its KO abilities. Yellow can keep this card perpetually tapped down, and then KO it later on when its ability doesn't matter. This is literally just a 20k beat stick that has no combo power. Now, this card is not great. Unless there's something revealed later on that makes this card good, no, this is a bad card. Sorry, I didn't realize that said when KO'd. I, for some reason, read it as on play. If it was on play, great. On KO, it's not good. Next, we have a 1-drop Supreme Kai, or Shin. 5k stat line, 5k combo power. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with a Patara and its special traits, and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. As you can tell here, Vegito has the tagline Saiyan and Patara. So, this is a searchable card. I imagine we are going to be getting other Vegito and possibly Fuse Zamasu cards. So this card will be a great searcher for that engine. Actually, you know what? If we go back to, yes, Supreme Kai and Patara. Kind of weird that he doesn't have the Saiyan tag, because technically he is a half Saiyan, but you know. This is a neat card. It's a basic searcher. Can't really expect too much out of it. Next up, we have the yellow reveals. We have Son Gohan Adolescence, a 2-drop, 15k body with a 10,000 combo stat line. On play, choose it to one of your Piccolo battle cards with a cost of 3 and switch it to active mode. Not 3 or less, just 3. This is okay. This literally only works with the next card we're going to reveal, and that is Piccolo. He is a 25k 3-cost blocker with a 5k combo line. When KO, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to active mode. Choose one of your battle cards, switch it to active mode. That's kind of neat. So, in combination, you swing with Piccolo for 25k, you play Gohan for 2, you then switch Piccolo back to active mode, so now he can block. So, I mean, you're getting a 25k swing and a 15k swing for about a total of 5 energy. I mean, it's okay. The when KO'd ability is pretty neat. You know, choose it to one of your battle cards, switch it to active mode. So if you've got a really big blocker, or you got a really big body that you don't want your opponent to hit, you block with the Piccolo, and then you restand your attacker. It's interesting. I think this is like, these blockers are the ones that will last because they have such a higher stat line. It's a pretty neat card. Next, we have 3-drop Son Goku, Super Saiyan Blue, and his attire from Resurrection F. 25k stat line, 5k combo line, permanent. Your turn. If your opponent has 3 or more rest mode battle cards, this card gets 5k power. So with yellow's ability to rest things, and your opponent's wanting to go wide, depending on which deck you play against, this card's actually pretty good. To basically pay 3, get a 30k body, that's really cool. I dig this. I think this is a pretty solid card. Not amazing, but really solid. I can definitely see it being in some yellow builds. Next, we have the red reveals. We have Rosie. She's a Maiden Squadron, Universe 2, and Tournament of Power. So, can work with Goku, the new Goku leader. It's a 2 She is a 2-cost 15k body with a 10,000 combo line. When attacking, this card gets 5,000 power for the turn for each of your opponent's battle cards. This is really good in my opinion. If your opponent, like say you're playing against yellow, has like 4 Ginyu Force cards, guess what? This card just became a 2-cost 35k body. And that's clearing almost any card on your opponent's battlefield. Solid card. And the fact that if we go back to the Goku, this says 20k power or less. So that means you can play this card off Goku's ability. It's interesting. I love the ability, and just for a 2-cost 15k body, like that's like already a normal stat line. Yeah, I think this card's solid. Next, we have a 3-cost 20k power Tien. On play up to 3 Tien Shinhan cards with 15k power or less from your hand. So this is basically its homage to the multi-form technique. And there already is a 1-cost 15k Tien that you got in the starter deck. Now, the fact that you could have up to 3 of these in your hand, that you could pay 3 and then get a 20k and 3 15k swingers is disgusting. Imagine throwing that in Universe 7 Goku from set 1. You would have a 25, 20, 20, 20. Which is an amazing board for only 3. But the likelihood of you drawing all of your TNs is real low. So this card's going to be kind of, is in my opinion, mid. Now, if you can pull it off, holy crap, it's awesome. But that's if you can pull it off. But it's not bad, but it's not great. It's pretty mid. Let's see, we have a 2-cost 20k Android 18. Permanent. During your opponent's turn, this card gets 5k power. So already, in my opinion, great stat line. A 2 for 20k is great. 5k combo power. But the fact that it becomes a 25k on your opponent's turn, you could throw this in Universe 7 Goku and it becomes a 25k on your turn, and then its own ability lets it be a 25k on your opponent's turn. 2-cost 25k body, essentially. Nuts. This is a great card for red. 100%. All right, now we have a couple of reveals that haven't been officially revealed in the English meta, but I did use the Google Translate on my phone. And this is what I got. This card is going to be great for current Goku Black decks, and hopefully it will be a solid card in the Fusamasu deck. Basically, it's a 2-cost 20k body with a 5k combo line. This card cannot leave the battle area due to Watt skills. Basically, it just means this card cannot be removed from the battlefield due to skills. Now, of course, negging it will still remove it because that's not a skill. That is just the game rules removing it. But basically, it cannot be KO'd by skills. It has to be KO'd through battle. When attacking, you can discard 1 card from your hand to draw 1. This is cycling, and I think it's a pretty good ability. Based off here, this looks to be an SR, if I'm not mistaken here, which is really cool. Basically, excuse me, 20k body that lets you discard 1 to draw 1. I like it. It's another Zamasu target, so I can easily throw that in Goku Black. And since it has a higher stat line, it's not as removable as the other Zamasus are. It's still removable, but not as removable. But I really like this card. I am excited to get my hands on it. And then I believe finally we have the new Kefla. Once again, another SR. 4-cost 20k body with 10,000 combo power. If your leader is awakened, this card gets an additional 5k power. So 4-cost 5k. But funny enough, this card has the Tournament of Power tagline, so it can be played for free, for 1, and discarding 1 off Goku's ability. So keep that in mind. When attacking, draw 1 card. After that, bring up to 1 battle card with a special, with the special tag of Tournament of Power that costs 3 or less from your hand into play. That's basically the rough translation. So basically, you draw 1, and then you get to play a 3-cost Tournament of Power from your hand. That's so good. Like, you could play this for 1 and discard 1 off your leader ability, swing with it, again, a 25k strike, and then you get to draw another card to replace the one you discarded, and then you play another 3-cost card from your hand. You could play Rosie, you could play Android 18. Like, there's so many play lines with this card. This is absolutely going to be a red staple in the new Tournament of Power Goku deck. But hey, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for checking out this video. Let me know what you think about these new revealed cards in the next set, Blazing Auras. I will do another video like this once more cards are revealed, but I thought this would be just a fun video for me to do for you guys today. I'll give you my opinion on the new revealed cards. I'm super hyped for the next set. I am still having so much fun with the current set. The meta is still being defined, though it feels like it's a green and yellow meta for the most part with a splash of red in there. But you know what? As a blue player, I'm going to do my absolute best to make blue feel as impactful as I can in this set. So thank you guys so much once again for checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.